Hello and welcome to Education Technology Professionals. I'm Mr. Kirshner, the Director of STEM Education. And in this video we're going to be looking at Tynker's Programming 300 course, Lesson 4, Introduction to JavaScript. If you're here, it's probably because you've been assigned the Programming 300 course in one of our classes. And we're just going to kind of use this video as a sort of walkthrough for Lesson 4, sort of an answer key. All right, that said, let's head on over to the Tynker website and we'll see what we've got going. So here you can see the Lesson 4 outline with the various parts, the various stages. We'll go ahead and start with number 1, start the hack. Now, whenever we're programming in any programming language, it doesn't matter what the language is, there are certain rules about how we type things in, about the commands that we use, the way we spell them, whether or not we use capital letters, about the spacing that they are on the page, whether or not they're indented, and about what we otherwise would call punctuation marks that we use, especially things like colons and semicolons, parentheses. They're very strict, very clear rules, and we have to use these things exactly right. We have to have exactly the right one, exactly where it's supposed to be, or the program that we're creating will not work. Quick point of correction. The punctuation marks, the parentheses, the semicolons, all of those are absolutely essential to the program running the way it's supposed to. The indents in JavaScript are not that important to the running of the program. They just help us to see what things belong in what loops and which part of the program and within which loop the particular item that's been indented is located. So they help us see the flow of the program as we're looking at it. But the indents are not as vital to the program running. That's one of the ways in which a programming language is really kind of more difficult and a little more complicated than just programming with blocks, as most of us are used to. So here we have the first level, and as we look down, the first command is already given to us. We have our actor here, and when we press play, we've got the one forward command over here in our work area on the left. When we press play, the actor will go forward. There we go, but the problem is they didn't go far enough. We needed to get to that portal, so we've got an error. And what we need to do is we need to add a second forward command. So let's go down to the line under forward, and we'll just type in another one. Forward, open and close parentheses, and then you must have that semicolon. Always remember the semicolon. All right, so now that we've added that code, let's try play again. And there we've made it. Okay, so now we can move on to the next level. Here we've got a number of forwards. So 1, 2, oh, but the problem is we've gone too far. So now we have to figure out how many forwards to remove in order to get to the portal and not run through it. So we've got 1, 2, 3, I think we can count the stairs as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 forwards. So I'm thinking we don't want to include the stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4 should be enough. So let's pull off these last 3 forwards. We will delete those from the code and we'll run it with just the 4. And sure enough, that was correct. All right, so off to the next level. And again, this is a video. I invite you to work along as we go. You can see my cat now. She's decided to join us. So you can go along as you go. Feel free to play along. You can, of course, pause or go back to see anything that you missed. All right, so now we've got to go forward twice, we need to turn left and then go forward twice again. And here we have our turn left block. Now you will notice that the L in left is capitalized. And we'll have to type that exactly in order to make that command work. So we've got forward. We want to add another forward. We want to add turn left. Remember the capital. And then we need to add 2 more forwards. All right, let's see if that code works. All right, so we have made it to the portal on that one. All right, let's move on to the next stage. All right, so this time we have the turn left, and again, we don't want to include the stairs. So it's 1, 2, 3, move forwards, then 1, turn left, then 1, 2, 3, move forwards. Now we can just copy that text. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Didn't mean to copy the whole row. There we go. So there's forward. Now we want to add another forward, and then turn left, and then 1, 2, 3 forwards. And let's see if that gets us to the portal. All right. So our next level is zigzag. We want to go forward, turn left, go forward again, turn right, and then 1 more forward. I still have forward in the clipboard, so we'll just add that. We want turn left, and then forward, and then turn right. And remember, you need to have that capitalized. And then our last forward. Forward, turn left, turn right, or forward, turn left, forward, turn right, and then forward. All right, we move on to the next one, deja vu. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and use loops. Now this gets a little more complicated, and the good news is the tutorial has directions for us. Basically, in these parentheses over here, we've got the 2 semicolons, and we need to set conditions. Between the open parentheses and the first semicolon, we're going to define a variable and give the starting condition for that variable. In between the semicolons, we're going to give the ending condition for that variable. And then between the second semicolon and the closed parentheses, we're going to give how that variable is going to change each time we go through the for loop. So usually with a variable, we'll start with 0. We're going to use I for integer. And so we're going to start with for I equals to 0. And then we need to figure out how many times we need to go. We'll set the condition for greater than that. And, well, for as long as it's less than that. I'm sorry, for as long as it's less than that. And then we'll set it to count up by 1. And again, if you didn't understand that or want to see it, those instructions are down here in the tutorial. Well, let's head back up. And let's see if we can get in. There we go. Okay, so we're going to define I. And again, we're using that just because we want integer. So I equals to 0. That's where we'll start. Now, how many times do we need to go forward? And again, we're not counting the steps. So we want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for I equals to 0, we want to do as long as I is less than 6, and we want to count up by 1. Now the way historically, typically in a coding language, we count by 1 is we say whatever the variable is, in this case I, is now equal to I plus 1, if we want to count by 1. But again, we count by 1 a lot, and so the people that created JavaScript were kind enough to let us just go I plus plus, and that automatically treats the statement as I equals I plus 1. All right, so now we have the loop defined. Now again, please note that all of these conditions, our initial condition, our terminal condition or ending condition, and our counting condition, are all within the parentheses. And then we've got this curly bracket. Now it's very important that you include these curly brackets. This encloses everything in the for loop. So we come to the curly bracket, I'm going to hit enter, and you'll now notice that our line is indented. It didn't go back to the beginning. We're not right under 4, we're under where we defined the starting value for I. And everything inside the for loop needs to have that indent. Everything in the for loop needs to be indented that way. So now we can go ahead and type our forward command. All right, get rid of that extra space, and the for loop is, the end of the for loop is defined by our ending bracket here. So let's go ahead and give this code a try and see if it works. And there we are. We successfully made it to the portal without running through it. All right, so that then introduces the for loops. And again, if you're used to block coding, that's basically the repeat block. That's how we do that in JavaScript. All right, so now let's take a look at our commands, because we have two different commands. We have a high jump, which jumps up a wall onto the block in front of us. And then we've got the long jump. And again, note that the J is capitalized, while the L and the H are not. Okay, so high jump is put in for us already. So once we've jumped high, we want to turn left, and you can just go ahead and hit enter when that is highlighted. It's a bit of a shortcut. Now we want the long jump. And we want a second long jump. And that can't be capitalized. All right, now we want to turn left again. And then a forward should get us to the portal. So let's see if that code works. All right, so that is how we get to the portal on up and down. Onwards and forwards. All right, now we can go ahead and use nested loops. Again, when we did block coding, I was always trying to get people in block coding to nest their repeat blocks when they have something that they need to do several times, and then a little later do it several times again after making one change. In this case now, let's go ahead and take a look at our puzzle, take a look at our field. We need to move forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and then turn left. And you'll notice we also have a new block, fire, which launches a laser. So we'll need to take out these items in front of us. They kind of look like coronaviruses. So here's our chance to blast back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, turn left and fire. So what do we need to do next? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, turn left and fire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, turn left and fire. I've noticed a pattern here. So 3 times we need to go forward 5 and then turn left and fire. Now we've already got I set for 0 to 3 for us with the forward, but that's only going to move us forward 3 times. So what we want to do is inside of this for I 1 to 3, we want to create a new for loop. So we're going to say for, and here's a different way. Because we were just defining the one variable there, we didn't actually have to define I as a variable last time. This time we'll go ahead and add the var. And again, that just tells JavaScript, tells the compiler that we're adding a new variable. Now we can't use I for this one because we're counting from 1 to 3 for I for the larger cycle. We need to use a different letter because otherwise it's going to reset each time. Once we've counted to 5 and we go back to the outside loop, I is already going to be 5 and it won't go the second time. So let's go ahead and use n for number equals 0, and we want n less than 5 because we need to go forward 5 spaces, and we want to count by n twice. All right, always remember your bracket. And now you'll notice when I hit enter, forward is indented. I'm going to come to the end of the forward command, and this will move us forward now 5 times. Okay, I want to come back, line that up at the beginning of 4, put my closing bracket, which tells the computer that that loop is now finished. Now we can go back to the beginning of the first loop, and now I can say turn left, and then put in the fire command. All right, now we know after we've gotten this last virus, we're going to need to go forward 3 times. So let's come on down to the last part, and I still have forward loaded. Look at that. So let's go ahead and put those 3 forwards in. We'll run this code and see if this works. Nope, I did something wrong. Oh, n is not defined. It's because I typed m the first time and not n. That's what happens when I'm typing in the sun and can't see what I'm doing. There we go. Let's try that code and see if that works. Turns left and fires, turns left and fires, forward 3, and we have made it to the portal. All right, so let's see how we do our next level. All right, so jump forward. We now have the long jump, so we need to jump forward, and then fire, and then step forward, jump forward, fire, step forward, jump. Oh, sorry, we want to fire twice at that point, don't we? So it's jump forward, fire, jump, and then move forward, long jump, fire, move forward, and then we want to fire again, long jump, move forward. So why don't we try fire first? So let's try fire, long jump, move forward, fire, long jump, move forward, fire, long jump, move forward. So we want to do that 3 times. So let's go ahead and put our code in. So for I equals 0, semicolon, I less than 3, semicolon, I plus plus, and again, always remember your bracket. We are indented, so we want to fire, and then we want to long jump, and then we want to go forward. Again, I still got that. All right. So now we go back to the beginning of our line. We put in our end bracket, and we'll see if this code works. Jump and forward, and we have made it to the portal. All right, so forward and jump. So this time we want to fire, move forward, jump, fire, move forward, jump, fire, move forward, and jump. Okay, so those are the orders we need this time. And again, 3 times, fire, move forward, and then jump. Okay, so for I equals 0, semicolon, I less than 3, semicolon, I plus plus, we want to fire, and again, always remember your open and close parentheses and semicolon. All right, and then forward, then long jump. All right, and go back to the beginning of our, into the same layer, the same level as our loop, and put in our closing bracket, and we'll see if that gets us through this puzzle. Fire, forward, jump, fire, forward, jump, fire, forward, and jump, and we have completed that level. All right, I got some experience points, and that completes our Lesson 4 Intro to JavaScript. I hope you found this walkthrough helpful. I also hope you are staying well and healthy and safe, and I look forward to seeing you in the classroom soon.